Hello, Williamsburg. It is Thursday. It is 3:15. My name is Ty Hodges, and it is time for the Super Sound Showcase here on WMBG. Robert Hodge, I have to throw him a shout out for the assist on this one because he set this up. We had a last second cancellation, and he came through in the clutch and said, "You know what, Ty? I got just the people that you need to have on the Super Sound Showcase." And so, in less than 24 hours, he pulled it together, and I am now thrilled to welcome in studio Philip and Phoenix Roebuck. Together, they make up Roebuck. Welcome in studio.
Hey, thanks
Hi,
so much.
thank you so much for having us.
Now, if anyone was listening to Robert's show, just at the end there, he gave a little tease, and he has described you all as incredibly interesting. Phoenix, he described you as the whole Crayola box, essentially. just very colorful top to bottom. And you do. Anyone who is watching on Facebook Live or checks out the video on About the Burg after this is done will see that you two do have an interesting style. So I'm curious, I guess let's start there. Tell us a little bit about your style and how you kind of came to be as you are.
Oh gosh,
Maybe that's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question because I was always the weirdo growing up. I just kind of did whatever felt like me, and I got beat up for it growing up as a kid in school. And I tried the whole following what everybody else did, and I realized it didn't make a difference. Everybody was still going to be a jerk to you no matter what. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to be myself and do what makes me happy. And I've always just had fun playing with what I wear because life's too short to be boring. So I just like to have fun with everything. I mean, people think I look crazy now, but in high school I used to wear like wedding dresses with combat boots and a top hat. So I think I've toned it down a bit.
And what about you, Philip? How did you come to cultivate your style?
I don't know that my style's not as intense as Phoenix's style.
It's not as intense, but
I don't know. I was into the three-piece suit. That was my thing when I was in my 20s. Just because that was something I brought back from my childhood. My grandfather was always in a three-piece suit, and there was something classy about that I liked. And but I couldn't afford many suits, so I had basically one that I would live in, and it'd get pretty run down. And so eventually it wound up being, a vest from this suit, the pants from this one. It's just a little bit of a hobo thing, but I'm trying to tighten it up a little bit.
And so what's interesting is that you all have two very distinct styles. So I'm curious, how did you all actually meet up and come together?
Oh, that's a story within itself right there. The story of how we met.
Well, we are married, and we were married before we were a band.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right. Important distinction to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did the band come together? At what point did you all decide, hey, you know what? Let's just do the whole band thing and let's just go for it?
It was something we wanted for a long time. I was solo for many years, and then Phoenix. When I met Phoenix, she started traveling with me, and we had talked about being a band a while back, 5-6 years ago, and then
I didn't play anything.
She didn't play anything yet, so that was a bit of a problem, And then a few years back, she found a bass on Craigslist, and just grabbed it. And she worked really hard for a couple years, and then we tried it together. It just happened. I played my last solo show. Wasn't sure what I was going to do next, but I knew it wasn't that. And then Phoenix and I played together one morning, and we were actually preparing for a family reunion.
Okay.
We were going to perform a couple songs, and that's what got us to put it on its feet. And we both loved it.
And the rest is history.
All we wanted to do, yeah.
Pretty much.
Now, Phoenix, because you didn't play an instrument, the stand-up bass is an interesting choice. What pulled you in that direction?
I've always been very attracted to the stand-up bass, but it always seemed like some mythological creature I couldn't obtain or get near. It was like finding a unicorn to be able to, just be in one's presence.
And they're pretty expensive to get into.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Not a cheap hobby.
Right.
Yeah. And to know that I didn't even know how to play it, to get my hands on one was like, well, I guess I could rent one. No, I want one for myself. And then it just magically happened one day when I was scouring Craigslist, like he said, and I found one that a woman was rehoming for very little money.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it. That's the bass.
This is the moment.
Yes.
And so since that time, how has your musical style changed? Because Robert has hyped you up all tremendously. You all are coming in here riding an insane hype train right now. And he has mentioned that your style of music is just a blend of all these different things. So tell us a little bit about your style of music and how you consider it.
Wow. I can tell you the kind of music we love and listen to, and I'm hoping that that's what you hear when we play. It's folk music of all kinds. Traditional bluegrass tunes, blues, gospel. A lot of we'll remember songs from our childhood. That little kids and elderly people just will know the same song from this magical distribution. Through that's passed down through generations, and that music is something timeless about it, and we've been exploring it a lot, and it comes out in our original songs, and I guess that style is called roots music.
Roots music.
It's when before there were genres. It was really record labels that established genres, I think. And before that, it wasn't country or blues or rock and roll. It was a melting pot. And I still think of that as roots music. And I hope that's what we play.
Very interesting. And is the reception generally pretty positive when you go out and perform places?
Fortunately, yeah. We've had nothing but positive response from people. It's been really wonderful to feel like we're not alone in the music that we enjoy playing and writing.
Well, wonderful. And on that same note, you have a couple shows coming up that you'd like to let our listeners know about.
Yeah, that'd be great. Next Friday, Friday the 15th, we're at Triangle. And then the next Friday, we're at Chownings on the 22nd.
Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Roebuck as they tour around Williamsburg. And if you're not sure, you're not positive yet, stay tuned, because after you hear them perform live, I'm sure you will have made your mind up. Stay tuned. This is the Super Sound Showcase on WMBG. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Roebuck will be performing live in studio. Stay tuned. All right, we are back here in studio WMBG. Where's my studio audience? Ring those cowbells. There we go. My studio audience still needs their cue cards. We're working on it. Back here in studio with Roebuck. The hype train just keeps rolling along. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know you want to hear him play some music. So, what song are we going to hear first?
We're going to do one of our new ones. We're about to go into the studio and make a record here in a couple weeks. And this is one of the songs that is going to be on that album. It's called Can't Have Nothin.
Can't Have Nothin. Ladies and gentlemen, a world premiere here on WMBG. WMBG exclusive here on the Super Sound Showcase. All right, folks, take it away.
Between acute joint pain, a drizzling rain, and a black thumbnail that it just won't heal. Man, you can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. When nothing is all you got. Oh, can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. When nothing is all you got. Little boy Blue laying on the horn, couldn't wait to get back home. But his heart got broken when the door swung open to another man giving his dog a bone. Another man giving his dog a bone. I seen him on foot in the feeder road down by the freeway fence. He lost the Ford Taurus and needed divorce, and I swear he's had a limp now ever since. I mean, you can't have nothing. You can't have nothing. You can't have nothing. Nothing is all you got. Now you can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. But nothing is all you got. Yeah, you can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. But nothing is all you got.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roebuck here on the Super Sound Showcase. That was wonderful, incredibly catchy, and just upbeat. I couldn't help but bob my head to it. I am super excited to hear what else you guys have lined up. What do we have coming up next?
I'm gonna catch my breath.
You catch your breath? Nah.
And then I think we're gonna do a song from our last record, a song called "Lucky One." Next.
Lucky One, interesting. And so, Phoenix, can you tell me a little bit about this song? What can we expect here?
It's a sweet little love song, but it's a happy one. It's good. I can't. He wrote it. I got nothing.
You've got nothing. You're half the band.
I don't know what to say.
It's a love song. That's good.
Yeah, it's a
love song.
It's
Nothing.
a sweet little love song, and it makes you happy and tap your foot, and it's a good time.
Well, the first song made me tap my foot, so I'm sure we'll be doing the same. You ready to go?
Yeah, ready.
All right, song number 2 here on the Super Sound Showcase. This is Roebuck.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Take your time. We got no place to run. I will be your lucky one. Slow on down. I promise when we're done, I will be your lucky one. Pretty face, carry me off someplace and run me through before I go and break into. When I die, fly into the sun, honey, I will be your lucky one. When I am old and beaten like a drum, I will be your lucky one. When the children grow and leave us years to come, honey, I will be your lucky one. Pretty face, carry me off someplace and run me through before I go and break into. When I die and fly into the sun, I will be your lucky one. When I die and fly into the sun, honey, I will be your lucky one.
Once again, spot on. Wonderful. Thank you. Roebuck, thank you so much for coming in studio today. It has been an absolute pleasure. We've got one more song, so while you catch your breath, Philip, Phoenix, tell us if the people want to find you, if they've heard you, they're in love with you guys already. If they want to find you, follow you on social media, how can they do that?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. We're Roebuck yourself. On Facebook, it's just Roebuck. And for our website, it's actually philiproebuck.com with 2 L's in Philip.
And do you want to spell Roebuck for the people in case?
Yes, of course. Roebuck is Roebuck. Just like the good old Roebucks people like to go hunting around here. Or Sears and Roebuck, if you know that reference.
All right.
All right, so we have one more song coming up here. The preparation, I think, is almost complete. Mm-hmm. Are we good to go, Philip? All right, so...
Good to go. This is another new one that will be on our next record.
Another world premiere here on WMBG.
I'm trying to be prepared for this one. I got it.
There we go. All right. The weight of the world is on you tonight, and everybody's just trying to take a bite. You step in line, take your lumps like the rest. You stagger around now, punch drunk at best. Time to go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. Let's go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. You look to the east, but it wore you down. You look to the west for higher ground. In the lowlands, they made you pray their way, but the city made you a castaway. Time to go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. Let's go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. The weight of the world is on you tonight, and everybody's just trying to take a bite. You hum your hymns from the depths all alone, but nobody knew the words to your song. Time to go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. Let's go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. Let's go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy. Let's go from belly to bone, from belly to bone. Let's go from belly to bone, and hog tie killjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was really feeling that one. That one was good. That had some real energy to it.
Oh, thanks.
Big on that last one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the Super Sound Showcase today. Roebuck, thank you so much for joining us on such short notice. It has been an absolute pleasure. One more time, if you want to plug your upcoming shows, the people want to find you. They've heard it. They loved it. They want to see you live. How can they do it?
Next Friday, the 15th, we're at Triangle, and then the following Friday, we're at Chownings, the 22nd.
Wonderful. Well, you two have been absolutely wonderful. Philip, Phoenix, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for tuning in to the Super Sound Showcase here on WMBG. Join us next week as we will have another performance, and I'm sure it will be another great one. Stay tuned.